The process of transferring journal entry to individual accounts is called as posting. Journal is subdivided into number of book of original entry, which is called as what? Subsidiary books. 2 debit and 1 credit account. So it is called as compound journal entry. Whereas in simple journal entry, there will be 1 debit and 1 credit. As and when the transaction have taken place, immediately we are going to record those transactions in a particular book, which is called as what? Journal. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we are in the second session of Unit 2 of the subject Fundamentals of Business Accounting, and this is for first sem B.B.A students. So your Unit 2 is all about accounting process. So my dear students, already we have discussed few of the concepts. So let us quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So in a previous session, I have covered this topic, that is we have learnt the systems of accounting. So there are mainly 2 systems of accounting. One is double entry system, other one is single entry system of accounting. So double entry system of accounting is called as complete system of accounting, where for each and every transaction we are going to record corresponding debit along with the corresponding credit. So it is called as complete system of accounting, and it is one of the most accurate system of accounting. Whereas the other type is single entry system. Now what is the single entry system? It is called as incomplete system of accounting, where we are going to record only one aspect, either debit or credit. So it is called as incomplete system of accounting. And if you check the accuracy, so the single entry system is less accurate when compared to double entry system. These are the 2 systems of accounting. Next we have learnt about account. So what is an account? So once we start recording the transactions in journal, so we have to classify those transactions depending upon the nature to individual accounts or individual place, which is called as what? Accounts. Next we have learnt about classification of accounts, where the accounts has been mainly classified into 2 types, that is classification under English system or traditional approach, and accounts under American system or modern approach. So we have seen what are those classification, what is the golden rule of each and every account, along with the examples. So these are the few topics what I have covered in a previous session. In today's session, we shall continue with recording of transaction, where the recording of transaction takes place in the book of original entry, which is called as what? Journal. So my dear students, there are number of transactions that takes place daily in an organization. So each and every transaction has to be recorded properly, so that the financial position at the end of the financial year, so we can ascertain the financial position at the end of the financial year. So if you don't record the transaction, what happens? So here the businessman or the proprietor cannot remember each and every transaction that have taken place long back. So in order to reduce that mistake, so what the proprietor has to do, he has to record the transaction as and when it takes place in the business organization, so that a correct financial position can be ascertained. Where the recording of transaction takes place first in the form of journal, where as and when the transaction have taken place, immediately it will record it in the books of account, which is called as what? Journal. So we shall learn about journal, then later on we shall go through ledger accounts, then we shall know how we have to prepare the trial balance. Okay. Now what is this journal or book of original entry? The book in which transactions are recorded for the first time. So remember, so we will record the transaction first time in a book, which is called as what? Journal. So recording of transaction for the first time in a chronological order. Now what do you mean by chronological order? That is date wise. So as and when it has been taken place, so in a same date wise, that is in the order, we are going to record those transaction in a particular book, which is called as what? Journal or book of original entry. Now what is journal or book of original entry? The book in which the transactions are recorded for the first time is called as journal or book of original entry. So that process of recording the transaction in that particular book, that is journal, is called as what? Journalizing. That is, the process of recording the transaction in journal is called as journalizing. The process of transferring journal entry to individual accounts is called as posting. Now, what does it mean? So, as I told you, as and when the transaction have taken place, we will record those transactions in a particular book in a chronological order. So, this book is called as what? Journal or book of original entry. So, this recording of transaction in journal is called as journalizing, and the process of transferring these entries to individual accounts. So, to individual accounts is called as what? Posting. So, recording in journal is called as journalizing, and transferring the entries from journal to ledger. Now, this is journal. This is journal, and the process of transferring journal entries to individual accounts is called as ledger. So, the process of recording in journal is called as journalizing, and transferring the entries to individual ledger account is called as what? Posting. This sequence causes the journal to be called as the book of original entry. Now, why journal is called as book of original entry? Because as and when the transaction that takes place in the business will be recorded immediately in the books in a raw format, that is in the form of journal entry. For the first time, the transaction or the recording takes place in a particular book, so it is called as book of original entry, because all the original transactions will be recorded in the journal. And the ledger account as principal book of entry. Now, journal is called as original book of entry, whereas ledger is called as principal book of entry. So, hope you are clear with this journal. Now, the journal is subdivided into number of other types of books. That is book of original entry, which we call it as subsidiary books. So, in your third unit, you are going to learn about all these subsidiary books. Time being, you remember, journal is subdivided into number of book of original entry, which is called as what? Subsidiary books. So, all these books are called as what? Subsidiary books. Subsidiary books. So, which are the subsidiary books we have? All these books we are going to learn in the next unit. Okay. So, which are the subsidiary books? Cash book, purchase book, purchase returns book, sales book, sales returns book, bills receivable book, bills payable book, and journal proper. Here the main journal is subdivided into number of books. That is number of books of original entry, which is called as subsidiary books, and these are the list of subsidiary books. So, we shall discuss in the next unit. Now, format of journal. So, before going through the recording of journal entry, we have to know what is the format of journal or how we have to record. What are the rules to be followed here? So, format of journal. So, you will write the heading journal entries. Suppose journal entries in the books of A Limited. So, we are going to record the entries of A Limited. Then how do you write? Heading journal entries in the books of A Limited. Okay. Then you will draw the format. So, your format will be date, particulars, ledger folio, debit rupees and credit rupees. Now, what you will record in the date column? So, you will record the transaction when it has been occurred. Okay. So, when the transaction have occurred in the business organization, so those date will be recorded in a chronological order. Next, in particulars, you will record the journal entries. So, I will tell how you have to write the journal entry. Next, ledger folio. So, in your book, that is in your problem, ledger folio will be empty. But make sure that you will draw this column. Even though it is empty, you have to draw the column. That is ledger folio. Now, why this ledger folio is used in the journal? Because for the easy reference. So, whenever the transaction have taken place from the journal to ledger, so from which page or from which transaction it has been taken place, so serially it will be numbered, so that in the business organization it will be easy for the reference. Whereas in ledger it will be journal folio, in journal it will be ledger folio. Next, debit rupees, credit rupees, where you are going to write the amount that has to be debited and the amount that has to be credited. Now, I will give a transaction here where we are going to record the journal entry. That is cash received from Mohan. So, your entry is or the transaction is cash received from Mohan. So this is your transaction. Rupees 10,000. Okay. Cash received from Mohan, rupees 10,000. Now, let the date will be 1st April 2021. Now, how do you record the journal entry for this particular transaction? Write the date 1/4/2021. Cash received from Mohan, rupees 10,000. Suppose I am receiving cash from Mohan. So, what comes to me? Cash. From whom? From Mohan. So, what you are going to debit? Debit what comes in. So, what comes to me? Cash. So, your entry will be cash account data. So, you have to write DR like this. Data 2. From whom I am receiving? From Mohan's account. That is from Mohan. So, to Mohan's account. Okay, and what is amount? 10,000. 10,000 in the debit side. And here it is blank. Here it is blank. And here it is 10,000. Okay, so for each and every entry, there should be a corresponding debit and corresponding credit. Okay, then you will write the narration. So, what do you mean by narration? So, narration in the sense it is a brief explanation about that particular journal entry. Suppose why I have recorded this entry, I have to know by easy reference. So, I'll write a narration so that I can easily refer that. So, for this reason, I have recorded the journal entry. So, you have to record in the form of, or you have to record in the bracket being cash received from Mohan. So, this will be the narration. Close the bracket. So, this is how you are going to record the journal entry, and always remember you have to leave some space and start the credit account. Okay, so cash account data, DR should be here, leave some space, and T should be in capital, to Mohan's account, and write the narration being cash received from Mohan. And the way you write the amount is also different. Okay, so this is how you are going to record your journal entry. Now we shall see few of the note here. Narration. So narration I have already told you. So this will be the narration. Narration is a brief description or explanation of the transaction given below the journal entry. So why you have recorded the journal entry? For this you are giving a brief explanation. So that is known as narration. Now what is the simple journal entry and compound journal entry? So there are two types of journal entry. One is simple journal entry, other one is compound journal entry. Now, first we shall see the simple journal entry. So, when only two accounts are involved to record a transaction, it is called as simple journal entry. Now, if you see this transaction, this is a simple journal entry where there are only two accounts. One account is debited, other one account is credited. So, this is known as what? Simple journal entry. Then what is compound journal entry? When the number of accounts to be debited or credited is more than one. If it is more than one, then it is called as what? Compound journal entry. For example, if the journal entry is cash account debtor, stock account debtor to capital account. To capital account. Now here there are two debit and one credit. Two account is debited and one account is credited. Now this is known as what? Compound journal entry. When there is more than two or more than one. So one debit or one credit, that is known as what? Compound journal entry. So here there are two debit and one credit account. So it is called as compound journal entry. Whereas in simple journal entry, there will be one debit and one credit. So this is about the journal entries. Now we shall see the features of journal. So as you all know, if you know the meaning, so it's very easy to recall what are the features of journal. So it is a book of original entry. As I've told you, as and when the transaction have taken place, immediately we are going to record those transactions in a particular book, which is called as what? Journal. So for the first time we are going to record that transaction. So it is called as what? Book of original entry. Next, coming to the second one, all the transactions recorded in the journal are subsequently transferred to ledger accounts. Clear? So first initially we will record in journal, then it will be transferred to individual ledger accounts. So, journal is called as book of original entry and all the transactions recorded in the journal will ultimately transfer to ledger accounts. Whereas ledger is called as what? Principal book of account. A journal is a daily accounting record. Now, why it is called as daily accounting record? It's not, or here the transactions are not recorded at the end of the financial year. As and when the transaction takes place, immediately we will record the transaction. As per the date, we will immediately record the transaction. So, it is called as what? Daily accounting record. In journal, transactions are recorded in chronological order. So, as I told you, so it should be recorded as per the date. So, date wise it has to be recorded and it should be in the same order. That is in a chronological order. A journal records has both debit and credit aspect of a transactions according to the double entry system of bookkeeping. So, if you see the transaction, so here 10,000 is debited and 10,000 is credited. In the sense, for each and every debit, there should be a corresponding credit. In the sense, we are going to follow what? Double entry system, where the debit should be equal to total of credit. Next one is each entry is followed by narration. Of course, I have given the example here. So, this whatever which is written in the bracket, so it is called as narration. So, each and every journal entry has to be followed by narration. Next one, a journal can be either simple or compound journal entry. So, we have seen, so this is a simple journal entry and this is a compound journal entry. It's not that it should always be simple journal entry or compound journal entry. So, it can be both. So, it is a combination of both simple journal entry as well as compound journal entry. So, these are the features of journal. Now, we shall go through a problem directly. So, we shall see how we have to record the journal entries. So, as I told you, this type of questions might be expected for 15 marks where the number of transactions might be few more. Okay. Now, go through this problem. Journalize the following transaction in the books of Ankita traders. Now, they have given the transactions of Ankita traders where we have to prepare the journal entries. Now, we shall go through one by one in the chronological order. Now, 1/1/2018 started business with cash rupees 90,000 and furniture rupees 10,000. Now, whatever the initial investment which is made by Ankita, so what it is called as? It is called as capital. So, we have already learnt in our first unit. In accounting terms, the amount or goods which is invested or the amount, goods or any other asset which is invested by the owner, so it is called as capital. Correct? Now, what is the journal entry for this? Business started with cash rupees 90,000, furniture rupees 10,000. So, your entry will be cash account debtor, furniture account debtor to capital account, because the whole thing, whatever the investment which is made by Ankita in the form of cash as well as furniture, so wholly it is called as what? Capital. Okay. So, how to record? 1/1/2018. Before that, you have to write the heading journal entries in the books of Ankita traders. You know the format: date, particulars, ledger folio, debit rupees and credit rupees. Now, what is the transaction? 1/1/2018 started business with cash 90,000 and furniture 10,000. So, what is the journal entry? Cash account debtor 90,000 in the debit side and we have furniture. So, furniture account debtor. So, what is the amount of furniture? 10,000 to capital account. To capital account. So, total is how much? It is 1 lakh. So, write the narration being business started with cash and furniture. Close the bracket. So, hope you are clear with the first journal entry. Now, come to the second one, 3/1/2018, opened a bank account with SBI. So, you are going to open a bank account in SBI. So, who is going to receive that amount? Bank. What goes from you? Cash. So your entry will be bank account data to cash account, that is 20,000. So 3/1/2018. So your entry is bank account data to cash account. So what is the amount which is being deposited into bank? 20,000. So debit side 20,000 and credit side 20,000. Always remember, you are not going to draw line for the whole thing. Only for the particulars you have to draw line after each and every entry. Okay, so being cash deposited into bank. Being cash deposited into bank. Close the bracket. So this is your second journal entry. Now come to the third one. 6/1/2018, purchase goods from Ramesh, rupees 30,000. Now they have purchased goods. So what comes to you? Goods. But you are not going to record it as goods. You will record it as purchase. Always remember, when you purchase goods, you will record it as purchase. And whether cash goes out from you? No, because they have not mentioned the word cash here. They have mentioned the name of the person. In the sense, the goods is being purchased on credit basis. So from whom? From Ramesh. So your journal entry will be purchases account data to Ramesh account. How much? 30,000. So 6/1/2018, you will debit purchases account data to Ramesh account. Now why you are debiting purchases? Goods comes to you, but you are not going to record it as goods account. You will record it as purchase. From whom you are purchasing? From Ramesh. Because cash does not goes out from you, because we have not purchased on cash basis. We have purchased on credit basis from Ramesh. Now what is amount? 30,000. 30,000 in the debit side and 30,000 in the credit side. So write the narration being goods purchased on credit. Being goods purchased on credit. And always remember, narration can be in your own words. It is just a brief explanation about your journal entry. Now come to the next one. 9/1/2018, sold goods to Rahul for cash. Now you are selling goods to Rahul for cash. So here they have mentioned the word cash. So what comes to you when you sell goods? Cash. What goes from you? Goods. But you are not recording it as goods. You will record it as sales. When you purchase goods, you will record it as purchase. When you sell goods, you will record it as sales. Now your entry will be cash account data to sales account, that is 15,000. 9/1/2018, cash account data to sales account. So what is the amount? 15,000. 15,000 in the debit side and 15,000 in the credit side. So write the narration being goods sold for cash. Close the bracket. Next one, after 9th, 10th one. Cash purchase. So here they have purchased on cash basis. So what is the entry? Purchases account data to cash account. So purchase is nothing but they have purchased the goods. So purchases account data to cash account 10,000. 10/1/2018, purchases account data to cash account, being cash purchase made. Close the bracket. And what is the amount? That is 10,000. 10,000 in the debit side and 10,000 in the credit side. Next one, after 10th, 12th. Sold goods to Mohan. So what is your entry? Here they have not sold on cash basis. You are selling goods to Mohan. So who is receiving that goods? Mohan. Correct? What goes from you? Goods, but you will not record it as goods. You will record it as sales. So your entry will be Mohan's account data to sales account 20,000 and the date is 12th. So 12/1/2018, Mohan's account debtor to sales account. Write the narration being goods sold to Mohan. Being goods sold to Mohan on credit also you can write. So what is the amount? 20,000. 20,000 in the debit side and 20,000 in the credit side. So hope you are clear with this. Now moving on to the next transaction. 15/1/2018 received commission. Now they are going to receive the commission. So what comes to you? Cash. In the form of what? Commission. So cash account data to commission account 1,000. 15/1/2018 cash account debtor to commission account. Write the narration being commission received. Being commission received. So what is the commission they have received? It is 1,000. Right, 1,000 in the debit side and 1,000 in the credit side. Next one. 20th/1/2018 drew from bank for personal use. Now whenever they withdraw money or goods for personal use, so what it is called as? It is called as drawings. Okay, so we have already learned. The owner can withdraw certain money or goods for his personal use. So from the business organization. So what it is called as? Drawings. Now he has withdrawn from the bank for personal use. So what is the entry? Drawings account data to bank account, that is 5,000. And the date is 20th. 20/1/2018. Your entry will be drawings account debtor to bank account. Write the narration being withdrawn for personal use. Suppose it is withdrawn for the official use, then it is not called as drawings. So they have clearly mentioned it is used for personal. So what is the amount? 5,000. So 5,000 in the debit side and 5,000 in the credit side. Hope you are clear. Next one. After 20th, 22nd. Cash received from Mohan. So what is your journal entry? You are receiving cash from Mohan. Cash comes to you. Cash account data. From whom you are receiving? From Mohan. So cash account data to Mohan's account. How much? 20,000. So 22/1/18 cash account data to Mohan's account. To Mohan's account. Write the narration being cash received from Mohan. Close the bracket. So what is the cash received from Mohan? That is 20,000. So write 20,000 in the debit side and 20,000 in the credit side. Hope you are clear. Next one. 25th. Paid rent by check. Now rent has been paid, but through what? Check. So what is the entry? Rent account data, because debit all expenses and losses. So rent is an expense. Rent account data to, by what he is being paid, not by cash, by check. So to bank account. How much? 5,000. So 25/1/2018. Your entry will be rent account debtor to bank account being rent paid by check. Being rent paid by check. Okay, so hope you know how we have to or why we have to debit the rent, because debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Okay, now what is the amount? That is 5,000. So 5,000 in the debit side and 5,000 in the credit side. Next one. 30th 1 2018 paid for salary rupees 4,000. Here they have not mentioned whether they have paid through cash or by check. So it is understood that it is paid by cash. So paid for salary. So salary is what? It is an expense. So debit all expenses and losses. So salary account data, what goes from you? Cash. So salary account data to cash, that is 4,000. 30th 1 2018 salary account data to what goes? Cash. To cash account. So what is the amount? 4,000. 4,000 in the debit side and 4,000 in the credit side. So write the narration being salary paid by cash. So we are done with all the journal entry. Next we have to total. So total all the debit as well as total all the credit column of the journal entries. So let us see what is the total. So if you total both the debit column and credit column, you will get 2,30,000 in the debit and 2,30,000 in the credit. That is whole from the first journal entry to the last journal entry, you have to add all the debit column and add all the credit column, so that your both debit as well as credit column should be same. It is 2,30,000 and 2,30,000. So hope you have understood how we have to record the journal entries in the books of accounts. So in my next session also I am going to solve a problem on journal entries. So hope you have understood today's session. See you all in my next session with a new topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.